I'd like to introduce a new application utility we've created here at Keel Software. It's a web application that allows the browsing of blocks and transactions in a Hyperledger framework. It's written with React.js and Node. It's available on GitHub. It's an open source project, so anybody can access and download. Fairly easy to set up and get going. It has a README, which includes prerequisites, requirements, installation instructions, and then by default, it's configured to access the examples that are included with the Fabric, Marbles, FabStore, etc. So the access credentials and configuration to the network is assuming a local installation of one of the Fabric samples. However, through the config.js, you can point it to any HLF network peer node and supply the valid key credentials, and you'll be able to browse any HLF network. Once it's installed and up and running, you will be placed in the landing screen, which will prompt you for a channel to browse. In this case, I'm going to browse the channel I've created on our local network. You will see the blocks and transactions in the network. The screen has the ability to drill down to transactions that are within a block, as you see here. You've got block information such as the current block hash, previous block hash. You have the blockchain information, in other words, chain codes that are installed on the channel. The channel is reflected in the nav bar up top. And you can also easily navigate through blocks that are in the chain. As you see here, I'm clicking these navigation arrows and moving into the block, the last block in the network, and back towards the Genesis block. There's also some quick links here where I can go to the Genesis block with a click of a button, or go to the latest block. And I can also look at the raw block in JSON format, as you can see here. So this provides a handy way to browse your blockchain. It also has a feature that will give some metrics, visibility into the performance of your network, how many blocks are being created per minute. Nothing is happening right now, that's why it's a flat line. And then we also have a sample of how many milliseconds it takes to execute chain code, or in other words, execute transaction proposals endorsing nodes. To illustrate this, I will run a script I have here that's going to go ahead and start creating a bunch of transactions in our network. And as that occurs, you'll see the metrics change. The blocks should start ramping up as more blocks are being created. And it's starting now. So these are the blocks that are being added to the network. And the transaction proposal weight will change accordingly due to the network load. So the time of that's going to increase as more activity is happening. If I go back to the blocks view, I will see the blocks in a asynchronous way. In other words, the page is not refreshing. And that is taking advantage of the Fabric Node.js API that allows clients to register with events through the Event Hub mechanism of Fabric. So I'm listening for blocks being added to the network and showing them in this application. I can navigate through and see these things perform. And so, as you can see, this is kind of a nice little utility that you can access and use to browse your HLF blockchain. I hope you find use with this utility, and let us know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you very much.